There comes a moment in every human life where being nice, being harmless, being agreeable, and being endlessly patient stops working because the world does not reward softness the way it pretends to. And sooner or later you realize that discipline, strength, and controlled aggression are not flaws, but requirements if you want to build something meaningful in a world that does not care about your comfort, your excuses, or your feelings. From the time you were young, people tell you to be calm, be polite, don't try too hard, don't be too intense, don't want too much, don't push too far, and above all, don't be dangerous. But what they never tell you is that a harmless person is not a good person, because goodness without strength is just weakness wearing a moral mask. And the truth is you cannot truly respect yourself until you know that you are capable of being powerful and still choose to act with control. You were never meant to be small, quiet, and invisible, waiting for permission to succeed, hoping someone notices your effort, praying that things magically work out in your favor. Because life does not hand victories to people who sit back and wait. Life moves in favor of those who step forward, take responsibility, and decide that no matter what happens, they will make it work. To become a monster does not mean becoming cruel or heartless. It means developing teeth. Mental teeth, emotional teeth, spiritual teeth, so that when life pushes back, you don't collapse. When pressure increases, you don't fold. And when things get uncomfortable, you don't run. Because once you know you are dangerous, once you know you are capable of intensity, discipline, and relentless effort, something shifts inside you and you stop asking the world for permission. At that point, you no longer wish, you no longer hope, and you no longer dream in a passive way, because dreaming without action is just self-deception, and instead you begin to demand success from yourself, holding yourself to a higher standard, carrying yourself with a quiet confidence that says, I will figure this out, and I will not stop until I do. A monster mindset is not loud. It does not beg for attention. It does not announce itself with words. It announces itself with posture, with consistency, with the way you show up every single day, even when no one is watching, even when you are tired, even when motivation is gone. Because monsters are built in the moments where quitting feels justified, but discipline says no. Most people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because the moment things become difficult, the moment discomfort shows up, the moment fatigue kicks in, they interpret that feeling as a sign to stop, when in reality that feeling is the doorway to growth, the signal that you are exactly where you need to be. Life does not care if you are tired, it does not care if you feel weak, and it does not care if people are talking about you. Because the world rewards output, consistency, and results, not explanations. And if you want to win in a competitive world, you must learn to play offense, not defense. Playing offense means you stop reacting and start deciding. You stop avoiding problems and start attacking goals. You stop backing into opportunities and start walking toward them with your shoulders back, your head high, and your mind locked in. Because success does not respect hesitation. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to be loud or aggressive in someone else's style. You can build your monster in your own way, quietly, steadily, relentlessly. But people must be able to look at you and feel that energy, that seriousness, that presence that says this person is not to be played with. That presence comes from effort, real effort, visible effort, undeniable effort, the kind of effort that makes excuses look embarrassing, the kind of effort that makes average uncomfortable. Because when you work at a level most people refuse to, you naturally separate yourself from the crowd. Toughness is not something you are born with, it is something you practice, and the only way to practice toughness is to stop quitting when things get hard, to stop giving up when you don't feel like it, and to stop treating discomfort as an emergency. Because every time you push through when your mind tells you to stop, you are forging a stronger version of yourself. The problem with most people today is not that life is harder than before, it's that they have trained themselves to escape the moment life asks for endurance. And when challenge shows up, instead of rising, they retreat. Instead of adapting, they complain. And instead of fighting, they quit. If you want to be successful, you must be willing to go to work when motivation is absent, when energy is low, and when progress is slow. Because the gap between winners and losers is not talent, it is tolerance for discomfort.
A true monster mentality means you are willing to sacrifice comfort, rest, and temporary pleasure in exchange for long-term growth, knowing that comfort today often costs you your future tomorrow, and that every disciplined choice compounds into a stronger, sharper, more capable version of you. There will be moments where you feel like quitting, moments where the goal feels too far, moments where the pressure feels unbearable, and in those moments you must remember the hours you already sacrificed, the pain you already endured, and the progress you already made, because quitting then would make all of it meaningless. Sometimes winning is not about speed, talent, or perfection, but about grip, about grabbing on to the goal and refusing to let go, even when your hands hurt, your arms shake, and your mind screams to stop, because persistence outlasts resistance. You will have to fight, not once, not twice, but over and over again, and sometimes the fight will not be against the world, but against your own doubts, your own fears, and your own limiting beliefs, and that is where true monsters are born. Whatever it takes, you must be willing to do it, not in a reckless way, but in a committed way, with clarity, discipline, and purpose, because getting to the other side of struggle requires pressure, patience, and persistence. If you truly want something, if you are genuinely hungry for it, you must be willing to do whatever is necessary for as long as necessary, because half effort creates half results, and half results create regret. Many people quit just inches from victory, giving up at the 1-yard line, not because they couldn't go on, but because they convinced themselves that stopping was reasonable, and that is one of the greatest tragedies of human potential. Life will knock you down, that is guaranteed, but what defines you is whether you stand up inside yourself, look the challenge in the eye, and say, "I can handle this, and I will keep going anyway." Relentlessness means you are always searching for a way forward, always adapting, always learning, always finding another angle, another strategy, another effort, because winners don't stop when blocked, they reroute. You must develop the mindset that says, "I am not leaving without the result," whether it is the degree, the goal, the dream, the career, or the opportunity, because commitment removes the option to retreat. You cannot go back to your old mindset, your old habits, or your old excuses, because growth requires a new identity, a new standard, and a new way of thinking that matches the future you are trying to build. Failing does not mean you are done. It means you found a level that challenges you, and instead of retreating, you raise yourself to meet it, pushing the bar higher and higher until failure no longer scares you. When you wake up earlier, push harder, and move forward through discomfort, failure becomes feedback, not fear, because you understand that growth lives at the edge of your limits. To be uncommon among the uncommon requires everything you have, and then some, because the highest levels of success demand not just effort, but obsession, discipline, and relentless self-mastery. And when you think you have given everything, when you feel empty, exhausted, and tested, understand this truth clearly. You are not finished. You are just getting started, because that monster inside you is only beginning to wake up.